Hello, my wonderful people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on your time zone or anytime you are coming across this platform. If it is your first time and you like what you are watching, kindly subscribe, put on your notification bell to all notifications so that you'll be able to know when we upload a new video. Here in Linda's TV show, we react to all forms of videos, local and international, especially what is happening in Nigeria. I want to seize this opportunity to appreciate YouTube for creating this wonderful platform for us to use to disseminate information. At the same time, I am putting a disclaimer that this platform, Linda's TV show, do not in any way promote misleading information, hate speech, or violence. I do not like those things, so I will never promote them in my platform. We are here to educate and inform the members.
Move for the breakup of the contraption. It is for your own good. Because the more this Nigeria exists, the more the lives of millions of you will continue to be put into jeopardy, including the lives of the ones that are yet unborn. Generation yet unborn will be born into poverty in this current Nigeria as it is currently structured. And the criminals who are doing that, knowing that they will never be punished, they will do it again and again and again and again and again until you stop them. Whatever Boko Haram did with Nigeria, I am saying whatever Emefiole did with Nigeria, you can take it from me. Take it or leave it. It doesn't even matter. Kadobi and Boko Haram, Tifnumbu, they will do worse. And you already have all the pointers. But you don't have to believe me. But just let this my voice continue to speak to you when you are by yourself, when you are trying to look for who to blame for all of this, pointing fingers, shifting the blame. My voice will remind you what the truth is. And you probably will know where you are falling to, whether you are an enabler or just an ignorant dumbo. Either way, my voice will play a significant role in your head when the reality will set in. Whether you like my voice or you don't like my voice, whether you like the way I'm talking about this or you don't like it, it won't matter because facts are very stubborn. Fictions, you can edit your fiction, you can enjoy your fantasy, you can make up all your whatever it is you're making up in your head. Baba, facts are very stubborn. They won't go anywhere. Nigeria is in a bad place simply because APC, Egbekegbe, make it so. And the journey to making it so was enabled by some of you, even watching me right now. You know the role you play? You probably do. But here is the truth. In 2017-18, the idea of using any dormant money in Nigerian banks came to Boko Haram's people like the discovery of a sliced bread. They were so shocked that so much money like that is somewhere for pensioners. We could borrow that. Yeah. I didn't know Nigerian pensioners. Just tell them that we'll pay them back later. And for them to believe that we will pay them back later, let us go and issue a bond. Typical of just, let's go and print money. But we won't print it now. We'll just tell them that we'll give them later when they need it. But we need their money now. So Abba Kyari muted the idea. They put a team together to draft what money can be spent on. And it will be called infrastructural fund. From pension fund. And pension fund is no money from government. That is the money the banks deduct from you, from your money, from your salaries. and then they bank them for you. Yeah. So then, when it is the time for your retirement, the government is expected to contribute their own counterpart of that pension fund. And that means if the government is taking a certain percentage from your salary every month, they are also expected, in some instances, to add their own, whatever it is, to add to that your tax deduction. Or even if they don't have to add any of theirs, yours is enough. And that is what they wanted to take. So Abba Kyari and few other guys, they met with Emefiole and they turned it into a monetary policy. Instead of the money sitting there, waiting for you to retire, maybe they should borrow it for now. For some reason, people raised the alarm. Don't try that. That is the money you can't touch. This was after they have almost depleted all of the revenue earning sources for Nigeria. Hear them among themselves. Nigeria was losing money so massively, and they had no idea on what to do. So they discovered this gold mine, trillions of naira, sitting somewhere, waiting for some people to turn to 70, 75, and they still have like maybe 20 years away. They still have like 15 years, 30 years, and all of that kind of years away. Oh, we could use the money. Let the future government come and deal with it. I don't know what happened. Abba Kyari went to Germany to go and negotiate with Siemens on Nigeria Power. He was neither the Minister of Power nor advisor on power to Bokwari. He was a chief of staff, the position that Gbajabia Mole currently holds. That was the position of Abba Kyari, but he was your de facto president then. He was pretty much your president, at least. So Abba Kyari went to Germany to go and negotiate Siemens deal. He came back with coronavirus and he died. He did not live to execute that plot of looting money from pensioners, the pension fund. But his own cousin, Issa Funtua, who happened to also be, a relative of Bokwari, family member too, he took it up. From what I heard, though, so Emefiole in 2019, 2020, after the death of Abba Kyari. So by 2021, 2022, Emefiole plotted it again. But this time around, they said it was Issa Funtua, that old man. They said that Issa Funtua wanted Emefiole to continue with that project. And that is the agenda of putting together a sort of a policy or statement that allows the government to take the pension fund. So they pushed it again. Central Bank of Nigeria Infrastructural Fund. This was the pension fund they want to use, 15 trillion. And before you know it, Issa Funtua was also rushed to London. He never returned back to Nigeria alive, so I heard. And that was the end of all the attempts to want to steal the pension fund from the poorly paid Nigeria workers who are mostly going to leave their pension age in poverty, where hyperinflation has already eaten deep to whatever pension they have saved. But that is not going to deter Tifnumbu and gang from going ahead with their plots. So I don't know who brought the idea. I don't know who is behind it. But what we know right now is that Tifnumbu and his gang, they have gone to FEC 2 days. They had FEC meeting for 2 days. FEC meeting is Federal Executive Council meeting. And the Federal Executive Council comprises of the Federal Cabinet. Who are the Federal Cabinet? The appointed, loyalist, ass-licker, incompetent crook that Tifnumbu appointed. These are the federal cabinet. So they presented it to them. Listen, guys, no investor, no nothing. We want to construct Coastal Road. It's going to cost Nigeria 15 trillion. Everybody is asking me, where am I going to see the money from? Because Nigeria has no money. Guys, I needed to approve that we can use the pension fund. This time around, we will just take 20 trillion from it. And in another 20 years, somebody else can pay them their pension. But by then, we would have built a coastal road for you. So again, tell your grandma, tell your grandpa, your retired grandpa, your retired grandma, tell them that when it comes to their pension, because here, for those who know Tifnumbu very well, you are about to learn how he built Lagos, the mega slum of Africa, the mega city of Nigeria. You are about to find out how they built Lagos for 24 years. Lagos that used to have drinking water, government running pipe-borne water, no longer has government running pipe-borne water, drinking water anywhere in Lagos anymore. After 24 years of Tifnumbu, people used to fetch water inside their homes. We used to fetch water inside our home. We used to turn the tap on. There was no borehole. So after 24 years of the Poseidon, the man that defended Lagos from the ocean, today, that is the mega city of Africa. You want to know how he built it? You will find out very soon. You will. Because now, what they want to do is that what they said they have received approval for, they now call it Renewed Hope Infrastructural Fund, not Central Bank Infrastructural Fund. It is now Renewed Hope Agenda, Renewed Hope Infrastructural Fund. Do you want me to tell you something? When this idea of a coastal road was mooted long time ago, then the Jonathan and then others decided to look into it, but they didn't because it was too massive. It's like capital intensive. Okay. And by then they calculated that it was going to cost over 4 trillion to build. So it was something they didn't want to push. It's like, how can you use half of your national annual budget to want to use that to build one road? Like, who does that? So they now developed the idea of PPP. Now you see this road, though, this coastal road, though, okay? Whenever we want to do it, we are going to look for whoever is ready to take off the project. Let's assume, say, a Chinese company say, oh, we'll take the project. It's going to cost about $2-3 billion. So we will take it on. We will build. So the arrangement was that whoever was going to build the coastal road, right, from Lagos to the border of Cameroon, past Calabar, all right? So the plan was that whoever was going to build it, so the government is going to make arrangements with them to build it with their money. Government will pay all the people that their land will be affected, their properties will be affected. Nigeria will pay those ones to ensure that the project has the right of way. Environmental something investigation or so report, that one that will actually environmental assessment, I think a report is called, right? That is when you have to do the check on all, on the path where that road is going to pass. You have to do the assessment. You have to meet the community by community. You have to go to some of, in fact, a lot of you probably believe that it's about just constructing road. I told you what it takes, right? Why Nigeria didn't do it. Why they wanted a PPP. A PPP means that somebody else will build it with their money and they will recoup back their money. So they will build it from Lagos, 747 or so kilometers. They will build it. And so once they complete the road, they will now put toll gates at every stop that they want the toll gate as approved by the same Nigeria government, just to ensure that, yes, thank you for building this. So it's going to take you 15 years to get your money back, but thank you for building this. It will cost Nigeria no dime. But Tifnumbu, because they couldn't find anybody to do it, right? Tifnumbu came when Nigeria is bankrupt already, but it doesn't care, who cares? Now you didn't say Nigeria bankrupt. So Tinubu came without any bidding, without any announcements. They just came and said, the Federal Executive Council, Tinubu's appointees, they have approved the project to construct coastal highway to high-tech. The person who is in charge of high-tech, Gilbert Shaguri, is Tinubu's confidant, fellow criminal, a wanted man in some countries, and a man that is believed can never enter America without being arrested, all for money laundering, crime, drug trafficking, contract, including bribery, where government officials in different countries have been bribed by this guy, Shaguri, in order to corner whatever robbery or whatever fraud they wanted to perpetrate in such countries. That is Tifnumbu's confidant. So they have a company and it is called iTech. This company, right, has no competitor, no bidding, no nothing. It is also a company that Tifnumbu has 42% interest, 42% stake in. His son, Sheyi, is a board director of that Shaguri's company. Now, you see all this conflict of interest in public office. It is considered conflict of interest and it is a crime. But Nigeria is a crime scene where criminals are in charge. So it's not a crime. So what have they done? No bidding, no competitive bidding, no announcement, no consultation, no environment assessment, check or report, no nothing. Just an announcement that, okay, the iTech says the road is going to cost 15 trillion naira to build. And they have won the contract. In fact, this is not going to be build, operate, and deliver. No. Nigeria is going to build it. But Shaguri and iTech, they're going to be presented to you as a private, as the partners. Do you understand? So, iTech that they said will build this road, okay, is supposed to be like Julius Berger. You know, say when Julius Berger build road, they get paid and they walk away. These ones are not walking away. They will spend no dime of their money. Tifnumbu is planning now to use the pension fund to hand that over to his pal, Shaguri. Now, whichever part of the road is constructed, a toll gate or two tolls or whatever will be put on them, on that road. And guess what? The document is going to show that Shaguri, iTech, they use 50% of their money to build the road. You will be alive to witness that. If no one want to steal 20 trillion naira pension fund, and he's going to hand 75 to 80% of that to his pal. Hey. For you to even plan it's like you want to go and rob a bank or you want to go and do that. But that won't take a lot of job. But this one is like an easy job. Easy. Let them continue to some now. Me, telling you all of this, I am crying. Let them continue to cry. Tinubu will build the road. I'm trying to kind of see if I can find the right word to explain what this means in the long run. If he ever succeed in taking a penny from the pension fund, I don't have any word to describe what it's going to be like without sending some old people into a panic right now. But it is very, very concerning. And this is another one. Like many other things that has, been affecting, or, many of their policies that has been affecting and touching every one of you, this one is like going for the jugular. It is. And for those who know Tifnumbu very well, I remember he once told the pensioners in Lagos when they said they were going to picket his office, but they did picket his office. When he finally showed up and to speak to them, he told them that he didn't understand why they are so angry that they have not been paid pensions. And they can tell that the whole state is struggling. They are yet to even pay those who are alive. And those who are those who are near their graves are protesting that they were not paid. Tifnumbu told pensioners that was how cruel. Even though he was younger than this then, well, all of you are about to find out how they built Lagos. Okay? But it's just that by the time they are done, there will be no pension fund anymore. There will be no foreign reserve. There will be no salary to pay you. Because around that time, you see the inflation that you have, again, may not sound like, say, person they kind of exaggerate. The type of inflation you have, right, will be nothing compared to it in any part of the world. Nigeria is unreal, okay? And this afternoon, when one of my callers was talking about the education of the Southwesterners, felt good. And I'm glad that that person kind of probably be second to the last generation of those who saw how everything declined. And then since then, it has been a spiral downward. They adulterated our education. They destroy it totally. Now we are producing unemployed and unemployable people. There's difference between now, okay, you don't get job or you're unemployed. Baba. At least person we no get job, is unemployed. There is hope if you have skill, if you have what it takes, there's a chance that you're going to get job eventually. That means you are employable. Right now in Yoruba land, where you are supposed to see educated people, educated people, it has already been shattered. Go and listen to them. Go and listen to some of them. Will tell you they are graduate this, graduate that. Are you not even seeing them in the public office too? Politicians, are you not seeing them? Once by education, they've destroyed it. And that is why somebody will be like, it is just, they say, inflation in Nigeria is now 34% too. 34% is not bad. Government just need to work hard. Government just need to work hard and make sure they do something. Food inflation in Nigeria is now over 40%. 40%. Well, anyway, government just need to, we need to, they will begin to speak grammar. Baba, do you know a poll conducted in America this past week? 61% of Americans that were polled, they all said Joe Biden is the worst president in America history. I mean, American history in the last 72 years is the worst. Only 39% felt like, no, he's not. He's doing well. Guess what? In America, Inflation in America right now is 3%. Unemployment in America right now is less than 4%. And Americans believe Joe Biden is the worst when it comes to job, when it comes to the economy, when it comes to immigration, all those. So they just 61%. And you will see Nigerians among those, all these Nigerian Americans, all those ones will be patriotic Nigerians abroad. They too, they are there. Yeah, I've been in America for the past 25 years. Joe Biden is a worse. Somebody will come from Nigeria. Meanwhile, in Nigeria, America, there are single digits of unemployment, single digits of inflation. They call their president the worst. Okay? Nigeria, who have 34% inflation, 40% food inflation, 50% unemployment rate. Their president is telling them that he is renewing their hope. Nigeria, there has no single border. Somebody was talking about border earlier today as well. Nigeria, there has no single border. You can walk in, walk out anytime. Yes, you can. Nigeria, there has no clear pathway to citizenship. Like the African Wahala said today, you could walk straight into any local government area, pay the right money, know few information about the area you want to be a citizen of. And they will give you a indigenous certificate that you can use in getting passports. So all these porous place and all that is somewhere that somebody in America, somebody in Canada, some of you in the UK, you are telling people to give them time. It takes time to do this or that. And yet, wherever you are, that you are kind of holed up right now, you are among those who probably feels like things are supposed to be better than what they are right now there, even though you seem to have everything. Right? That's called witchcraft. That's what people called it, witchcraft. So when Wale Edun was held, in order to further deceive the gullibles, the sophisticated morons, the voluntary slaves, they then came out and said, Tifnumbu, consumer credit. Consumer credit. What is consumer credit? Oh, yeah, you can just go and borrow money to buy a car. You don't have to pay for everything. You can just go and borrow money and buy a house. Your credit will do blah, 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 blah for you. Yeah, Tifnumbu's government is planning credit. Man, this is going to be great. So does that mean that I can now just get a contract phone? Does that mean that I can now just get every one of them? They are making themselves feel good on Twitter then, right? All these sabobakus. But the basic thing is that there is absolutely nothing on ground to say you that cannot afford food. A lot of you can no longer afford basic needs. You see, some critical manufacturers or manufacturers in your manufacturing sector, they are folding up and they are packing away and leaving the country because you cannot even afford to buy your anything anymore. Now that you can consumer credits. You are waiting for consumer credit so that we can be like America. We don't have to use all our money to buy things. We just take credit. If nobody is bringing consumer, consumer credit when you lose. You know, consumer credit is for the paupers, for the jobless, for the economy where, oh my God. I said it that time, but they thought I was bad belly. Because they were telling them things that makes them feel like, oh yeah, that's good. I can't wait. Papa, you don't even get job. You don't even get job. They are not creating jobs. But they said, oh, we are doing consumer credit. Another one. Oh, mortgage. Tifnubu is bringing mortgage system. Papa, you don't even get money for rent. It is cut. But yeah, with your Chinko phone, you are well done, great idea. A house they know they build. You don't see any house. You can say, okay, there's a housing system in Nigeria called that you can say, okay, you are going to become homeowners. Yeah, mortgage. I'll show you one of them here. He said this one yesterday.
Low interest rates. I mean, where we are now, interest rates are elevated. Clearly, they are not the kind of rates that someone who is trying to pay a mortgage and trying to pay for the purchase of a house can afford, both in terms of the tenor of the money and the rate. We're talking about, give or take, 12%. I would say give or take 12% should be the target that we aim at, something that's affordable. And it will take the creativity of the whole, all the stakeholders, government, the private sector, Federal Housing Authority, Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, Federal Mortgage Bank, as I said before, Ministry of Finance Incorporated, the pension funds, the investment funds, the insurance funds of life, the long-term pools of money for life insurance investments. The whole ecosystem will need to come together to really get the housing sector going through affordability of housing. All the other ingredients are there in this country. So it's a veritable area for value-added employment and growth of the economy. Ruth, it's when you say what type of funding will it be, clearly it is in a main part debt funding. And what it is, there will be intermediation. And when I say intermediation, I mean there will be a passing. So the long-term funds that is in the hands of the institutional investors will be made available through vehicles, probably through the Ministry of Finance Incorporated, or for mortgages, and through the National Sovereign Investment Authority for housing construction. Their expertise is in these areas, and so it is debt financing, and there will be multiple vehicles that are used. As for CNG buses, the infrastructure is being rolled out. At the moment, there is already an initiative, and I did have the privilege and the opportunity just last Friday to be at a assembly plant for production, assembling from semi-knockdown parts, assembly of mass transit CNG buses, and it's actually bi-fuel. It can run, these can run on petrol, and they can run on CNG. The issue is that CNG is almost between 25 and maybe 30% cheaper, and that's a veritable saving for all those that, and so that will be reflected, of course, in transport costs, and of course, the affordability for people who even drive themselves. And as for Kunle Business Day, the procurement is on. 600 buses are on their way, and as I said, they are not all to be purchased fully built. There's also a large portion that all the assemblers that are available in Nigeria have been given business, they've been given orders. Also, there are about 30,000 conversion kits coming in. There is no policy of, in fact, it's the opposite. The policy, as was announced by the Honourable Minister for Information, is that not only is the intervention to bring down fares and cost of transportation and therefore cost of living for Nigerians as a whole through the government's presidential compressed natural gas initiative, but now it is a government procurement policy, and I don't think we have to look far or examine in detail before we can see the opportunity that this now gives in Nigeria across the whole value chain. Thank you.
Well, there was a question about charging points. The man from Radio Nigeria.
Radio Nigeria. Yes, sorry, I abbreviated, trying to save your time as much as anybody. I abbreviated by talking about infrastructure. Of course, infrastructure includes charging points. And I must say this also, at the same time, the attempt is being made to move to electric vehicles. So the infrastructure for electric vehicles, charging points, it's a business. If you set up charging points, people will come and patronize you. Similarly, there is a rollout, and I'm sure it will be announced this month. There is a rollout of infrastructure of places where that are being tooled at the moment so that they can refuel CNG. And of course, as I said earlier, there's the opportunity. There are 30,000 conversion kits coming in. That's through the government initiative. And any private sector person that is enterprising can also bring their own. You can convert Keke Marwa, you can convert buses, you can convert cars to CNG. You just put the fuel, they put the tank in the boot, and you are virtually ready to go once they've wired it up. So it is a huge opportunity, and it's a decisive move, even for climate change. And there are benefits to be had there, enormous economic benefits to be had. All around the world, the biggest funding available is for anything to do with climate change, climate adaptation, protecting the environment, transiting from fossil fuels, transiting away from diesel and petrol. And we are definitely on that track, and we will make use of every opportunity, and we will seek out all the options there are for capturing carbon credits and putting them into the market and be low interest rate.
Nuisance lele.
Those were supposed to be our educated Southwesterner. Abi? I am a Yoruba man. And I can tell you this free of charge. Where the real Yorubas, standard Yorubas, are put on display. People like Wale Edun Kadoso, they would never have any access to such a gathering. Nibo, Sibo. Tifnumbu brought them, used them for his own political advancement. They were those who helped him to solidify the crime they committed in Lagos. These guys were chancers. These ones are chancers. Sit them down and ask them questions. And you know something that, let me tell you something about Nigerians. In case if you haven't really discovered that. There are Nigerians, okay, who have sort of hacked the idea of amassing what you can call international educational certificates. Because in Nigeria, if you tell them that you went to I went to Dogbolu Grammar School, Dogbolu Muslim Primary School, Dogbolu. I went to Dogbolu Grammar School. So I went to Olabisi Onabanjo University, OAU, for my first degree. Then I went for my master's at Obafemi Awolowo University. Oh, I did my PhD somewhere in Nigerian University, Nsukka. Still like, no, you are just you are Nigerian trained. But just tell them that you went to Arigidi Primary School, Arigidi Akoko, Ondo. And then you went to Arigidi Secondary School, Arigidi Akoko, Ondo. And then you went to Harvard Economic School. Doesn't matter if you just went to that Harvard for 2 weeks. Just say you went to Harvard Economic School. And every publication, every printout, every mention of your name, you have to remind them you went to Harvard Economic School. I went to Harvard Economic School for this. Because you see, in Nigeria, when we were younger, you know those who were doing banking jobs in Nigeria, polytechnic students, ND, HND, they were those who are readily available to be bankers. When you have a degree, no, you don't want to work in a bank. But over the years, the bankers became the big deal when democracy came and they had to get involved in money laundering money for criminal politicians. They make so much money. And a lot of them became somebody too, including majority that can never really stand any test of time. Criminals. Wale Edun is one of them. Kadobi is one of them. They are Yorubas, but they are the worst of the Yorubas. Take a look at their antecedents. You know what they would do? They went to Harvard. They went to Cambridge. Meanwhile, they just went there to do 2 weeks or 3 weeks weekend course or summer courses. So, but they print it boldly on every paper. Anytime you say, do you know who you're talking to? I am a former commissioner for finance, Lagos State. Oh, really? I am also the founder, because they were also able to kind of set up their own SPV companies, which then make them consultants about GPT. You know that, right? Like you are in government, and the job of those in government is to do the job of fixing the country or the state. Then you switch over and just say, you know what, we need a consultant. They are appointed the government, and they started opening their CV so those consultants can come and do what they were paid to do or appointed to do. Over time, they've kind of, some of them have written books. You know, they take before they write books. And their book, they will say they were doing book launch. Just so they make themselves look like intellectuals, intelligent people. But when you really, really look into them, if not for Nigeria, these are a bunch of misfits, low lives that can never be allowed to manage ordinary face me, I face you, renters association in your compound. They cannot be allowed. But they put on suit. The druggie who run Lagos has given them appointment. They've traveled all over the world. They've gone there to go and get all those bogus fake certificate, degrees, this and that all over the world, so that they can appear to be somebody who is so educated. But listen to them. They will say a lot without saying anything. There is no investment in power generation or distribution in Nigeria. When these criminals came in 2015, Nigeria was generating over 8,000 megawatts of electricity, distributing back then over 4,000 megawatt electricity. Then the rest is waste. Then these criminals came in just last week. They were bragging that Nigeria is now generating 5,000 megawatts of electricity. Is that a progress or retrogression? Is there a progression or retrogression? From 8,000 something to 5,000. How much of it are you distributing? We are now distributing 3,200. Very proud of ourselves. See? Backward never, they say. You are going backward at the top speed. It's like reversing backward at the speed of 170 kilometers per hour. You do reverse 170 kilometers per hour, para crash. Those are the guys speaking grammar. They will say a lot, they will never say anything. You don't get power, you don't get anything. But you want to bring electric bus. And then somebody asks, are you building infrastructure for charging all those? Oh, no. This is a private business. One hand, he said, they were rolling out charging ports. Then on the other hand, he said, no. It's a private business. So we believe that If you can build a charging port, people will come to you and charge their car. Imagine me carrying my Akana. Hello, Shani charger. Kò sí charger lẹ́ni, so sorry, kò sí ná. Okay, thank you. Pim. Hello, Uche. You get charger? I want to charge my Akana. Una. There's no license last week, and we cannot afford the per liter, petroleum per liter. Maybe you should check back tomorrow. But I'm not sure say this battery will last me till tomorrow. Or maybe you should leave your car here. When they bring light, I'll help you charge it. I'll call you to come and get your car. Because I mean, iru fuckery wolele. Oh, do you have keke? Keke marwa? Don't worry about petrol. Okay? Just take it to a place where they change them to gas for you. All you have to do is just to put the gas in your car and like that. That's it. In 2024 to the long Egbami. 2024. We don't even know how to kind of, we don't even know where to start from. 2024. Ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, what is his name? Kukah was with Tifnumbu earlier today. And according to him, 1 year is too small, it's too fast, or it's too early to expect too much from Tifnumbu. He's a PDP member, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Sir, I have just met with the president.
Who said so?
Okay, you are at the presidential villa. I take that back. You are at the presidential villa. What are you here for?
Well, I came to see the president. This is the director of the Kukah Center, Father Atta. So we came to discuss with the president on an invitation we had earlier extended, which we renew. To have a conference in which we would like him to be in attendance, addressing the theme of national cohesion. So that's really what we came to discuss.
President Bola Tinubu is clocking 1 year in office in a couple of weeks. Would you be kind enough to tell us what you feel? We know you're someone who has been vocal about Nigeria's past presidents. Can you assess President Bola Tinubu for us?
Well, I'm sure many people will tell you that 1 year is it's not enough to make a judgment. However, from where we all stand, we know that we are all in a very difficult situation. Nigerians are in various levels of pain, and there are pains that are unintended. But there is also certain policy decisions that hopefully with time can be amended in order to serve the welfare of ordinary people. I believe that the essence of government is to guarantee the welfare and security of ordinary citizens. I believe that the times that we're in now are very, very difficult times, and nobody should be under any illusion. But there are also times for renewal. We just need to commit ourselves to the fact that building a good society takes a lot of time. It's not something that is done in one lifetime. And for me, the most important thing is for us to continue on the building blocks of the things that we think are being done well. My argument has always been that the government needs to very quickly improve the quality of communication so that Nigerians can at least get a sense of how long is it going to be before food is ready.
Sir, I mean, you are concerned about national cohesion. Many Nigerians are afraid that the crisis in the West can blow up into such as
I don't know. I didn't come to speak about Rivers State.
no,
I don't know.
I'm just as a man of God.
Well, I don't live in Rivers State. If you meet the, I mean, look, this is politics, and very often we ordinary people cry more than they bereaved. The important thing is that politicians will fix their problems. Rivers State is a place that is very dear to me because I've been associated with them for a very long period of time. But look, I mean, when politicians fight, don't get carried away because they have their capacity to fix their quarrels. And I hope and pray that Rivers State will sooner than later reposition itself because it is not an insignificant part of Nigeria.
I didn't kind of plan for you to expect anything less, though. Okay, so he is a member of the establishment and speaks from both sides of his mouth. That depends on those of you who probably expect him to speak the truth. He can't. But that's just by the way. I saw a news where the APC women, they call them the women leader, APC women leader from across Nigeria, came out to kind of voice out, or should I say cried out, that if Numbu abandoned them.
Thank you so much for sticking to this video to the end. Like I said before, now it's time for us to go to the comment section to air our mind and our opinion. Say what you think about this video and this platform. Do it constructively. Share this video, like, subscribe, and also continue to watch Leaders TV show because this is the home of news. Until I see you again in my next video. Remember, for now, I would say bye-bye.